Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm gonna get this a little bit. Feel like it's a little bit blurry. So this video is just kind of review. Oh, still very blurry. This is a video of kind of helping out what we did in class. Also, it's going to count as the homework. We're going to talk about how you use the double number line in order to figure out. I mean, really, this works. A double number line is a really cool tool in math because it really helps you solve an array of problems. So there's a mathematical problem that occurs in pretty much every state. Every math seventh grader has to be able to do, and it's called the which one is sweeter problem. So sweetness, the more sugar you have, the sweeter something going to be. So let's say you have two different lemonade drinks, and in one of them, someone has something that is 5 ounces. That's the amount of water that you have. And in those 5 ounces of water, they found out that there are 3 grams of sugar. Okay? And then we'll call that drink A. In drink B, you have a little more water. So someone has, let's say they have 12 ounces of water. But instead of 3 grams, they have 5 grams of water. I'm sorry, of 5 grams of sugar. So the question is, which one of these is going to be sweeter? Right? Well, it's really hard to compare because this one has 5 ounces of water and this one has 12 ounces of water. So you can't just be like, well, this one has more sugar, so it's sweeter. It doesn't work like that. It depends on the ratio of sugar to water. So what we want to do is we want to find out for each of these how much is in the same amount of water. Okay? Now, the easiest way to do that is we can do what is called the unit rate. The unit rate is when you find out for 1 ounce, not for 5, not for 12, but for 1. And you guys in class learned how to do this using a double number line. So if the first one for solution A, and this will be the double number line for solution B, well, if the top is the amount of sugar and the bottom is the amount of water, so I'm going to write sugar and water. In the first one, we know there's 3 ounces of sugar for 5 of water. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to get it to be 1 ounce of water. I can do that by just figuring out, we've done this in class. How do I go from 5 to 1? Well, we divide by 5. We divide by itself to get to 1. And as long as you do that on the top, you're going to get, it's the same thing. So we're going to do 3 divided by 5. Now, please remember, you got to type 3 in the calculator first. We're doing 3 divided by 5. If you do 3 divided by 5 on a calculator, you will get, I promise you, 0.6. And that information is going to be useful to us. And so I know in drink A, every time you have 1 ounce of water, there's 0.6 ounces of sugar. Well, now let's do the same thing for the other. In this one, there's 5 and 12, but we want to get it to 1. Now, how do I go from 12 to 1? You divide by itself. And now, if I do 5 divided by 12, so I'm going to use my cell phone on this one. So 5 divided by 12, you get, I don't know if you can see that, 0.41666 repeating. So I'm going to write 0.416 repeating. Okay. Now this is really, really important because I had 2 different drinks of water, but now I could actually compare them. Because now I know in drink A, if there's 1 ounce of water, that's how much sugar. In drink B, if there are 1 ounce of water, that's how much sugar. So the question is, which amount of sugar is greater? Well, 0.6 is greater than 0.4 or 0.41. So that tells me, by bringing it down to 1, that tells me that drink A is going to be a lot sweeter. Maybe not a lot sweeter, but a good amount sweeter than drink B. Okay? So it didn't matter that you had more sugar, but it was also more water. So it got watered down a little bit more. And that's how you figure out using the famous which one's more sugary example. Okay? So let me give you guys one to see if you can do. And I'm sorry for the low tech option here. I'm going to just erase the board. And now, sorry about that. So let's say drink A, we're going to say uses 10 ounces of water. And for drink A, we're going to make this really, really sweet. We're going to use more sugar than there is water. We're going to say 12 grams of sugar. Okay. For drink B, we're going to say that there are, 15 ounces of sugar. Of water. And when you use 15 ounces of water, we're going to say that they're going to use 15 grams of sugar. And the question is, which one is going to taste sweeter? And actually, this would kind of be an easier one because you can see that there's the same amount of sugar and water here, and there's not the same. So I'm going to make this a little bit different. We're going to say that this one has 17 grams of sugar. Okay. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to create two double number lines and forget about the 10 ounces, forget about the 15 ounces, hard to compare them. Get each of them down to 1 ounce of water, not 1 gram of sugar, but 1 ounce of water. And then figure out which one's sweeter. So you guys had an opportunity to do that. Let's check to see if you did the right thing. So I made a double number line because that is a useful tool in math to help us solve problems. So we have water and we have sugar, and we're bringing the 10 ounces to 1 by dividing by 10. And then if you take the 12 ounces of water and you divide by 10, you get 1.2. So in drink A, you had 1 water and 1.2 cups of sugar, or grams of sugar. In this one, we have 15 water and sugar, we have 17. And remember, we're bringing the water down to 1, the unit rate. We're getting it to 1. So we have to divide by 15. And then here, I'm also going to divide by 15. So I have to take my calculator, and I'm going to do 17 divided by 15. 17 divided by 15, and you get 1.1333. So the question is, you got them both to 1 cup of water. Is 1.2 or 1.333 greater sugar? This one. So you would have said letter B. I hope that helps, and I hope you can see how using a double number line really helps us figure out and get it back to the unit rate, get it back to 1.